Hey guys, it's Al from Altruistic Channel, and I just wanted to let you know that I actually have been kind of going through what I can only call temper tantrums, if you will. I'm not known for being one of the most patient people on the planet, especially when I feel like something really big is about to happen. So, at the caution to the wind, if you will, I kind of went ahead and just thought about it for a moment. I just wanted to touch base with leaders from around the world, if you will, or people part of the ascension process or the collective awakening and so forth. Temperance is the name of the game for me, apparently, at this point. And for the past 2 days, I have basically been acting like a lion stuck in a cage. I know that all of my pieces are in place, and I was starting to get very exacerbated with the fact that I knew that I was waiting on something else or another opportunity, blah, 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 blah. So here's the thing about it. I tried my hardest to kind of distract myself, and of course it just made it that much worse. And I remember that the Queen of Cups, or Queen Cups, and Miss Burnett had both mentioned that I needed to practice temperance. And so I started to try to regain some self-composure, if you will, because I was just going out of my fucking mind, right? And so I started to kind of entertain myself at best with slots and stupid stuff like that. And so lo and behold, I happened to go on to Facebook, and I ran into an opportunity that may or may not unfold as I believe that it will be. I already know the answer to this, and I already know that it was meant to be, and I know what the end result will be. But the great thing about having temperance as an overall mission or a goal set for you by the divine energy is that you learn not to put your money where your mouth is, or whatever that saying is. Don't put your, whatever. That you don't do anything, or you don't say anything until your ducks are in a row. But let's just say the opportunity, lo and behold, happened on a social media website, actually. I ran into it, and the terminology used by the person that I am looking forward to meeting, and her team, was exactly what the Divine Spirit would have basically said. And so feel very confident. Now, the great thing about it is that before all of this happened, many of you will have noticed that I posted all of the declarative sentences and my alignment with my soul's purpose and so forth a couple days ago. And one of the things that I had done naturally, I should say, is that I aligned myself with the fact that I would needed to be very clear on what I see my future to be and what I believe it to look like. And it's one of the first things that came out of this person's mouth. And so whether or not this pans out, I know that she's someone that I will want to meet at some point in my life. And I just wanted to kind of put a note out there that sometimes the Divine Spirit knows exactly what they're doing, and sometimes you just have to give it up, and you just have to do what I did, which is just grin and bear it, and just walk through that fire. Because as crazy as I was making myself, knowing that something great was right on my neck, I can feel it, I knew that it would take some patience, and so it's just funny that it worked out. So I just wanted to touch base with you guys. You know, when you're in the crust of something, and you know that you're doing something great for humanity, or you believe that you have something powerful to give the world, then you have to understand that the world may not be ready for you, and that patience, it's a bitch. It's part of the ascension process. I mean, some of us have had to wait for longer periods of time while the world caught up with where we were. You know, there are gifted and talented children throughout our nation and throughout the world that may not be getting the best attention that they need to be getting. You know, it's not lost on me that I would be considered these days as an indigo child, and that if I was as an indigo child, that I might be on ADHD medication even though I had no hyperactivity. It's just we need to start focusing on maybe helping out those that are a little bit gifted, because even though they're considered special needs children, they fall through the cracks. I dropped out of school, and I went through a very dark path. And though I understand it's part of my ascension and it's part of who I am today, I just wanted to let you know that sometimes we may need to just check back with our kids, because they can get lost along the way. The one thing about gifted and talented children to remember is that we have a higher suicide rate because we understand things very early on that we can't communicate with our peers. It's something that they don't want to talk about. They're talking about Punky Brewster and all this other stuff. I'm aging myself there, but they're talking about things that we don't care about because we're actually worried about, well, the hypocrisy behind things, or life in general, and, you know, we're all going to die. And, stuff that seems very dark, but it's not. It's just practical thinking that a young adult would have, but as a young person, we don't understand. And so understanding that might help you understand better the need for education reform, into the degree that maybe helping them develop from young people into adults it could be very beneficial to us all. I am striving to build schools and do great things for our education system, not just for children, but for adults. I was bored out of my fucking mind through half of college. I mean, it's great to understand your vocation, but what about the grander design, philosophy, and communications, and all that stuff? Metrics and math, and sacred geometry, and things that really hold substance to you as you get older. What if we would have bridged that gap earlier? Think of all the accomplishments we could have done. So stuff like that is just part of the whole process of waiting to some degree, but understanding when it's your time, you will have to literally like grin and bear it, and just know that it will work itself out. I don't know what the end result will be of this particular opportunity, but I know there's many opportunities on way for me. Thank you, Miss. Thank you for all of the people that have brought me to this point. I had to forgive quite a bit, and I had to let go of a lot. And I will be posting more on the long journey soul, or the soul's long journey into night. Not as a means to relive the negativity or the lessons learned, more so than to shine bright as a light for those that are currently in the midst of the ascension process, or that are going to be going into it soon. You do get through it, and it is worth it, but like I've warned you before, I will never be the person that says or lies and says that it is not a dark journey. It is a very, very crucial moment in your soul's evolution. And so, although I cannot speak for anyone else, I will just say that it was bad. But in every way, shape, or form, everything that's going to happen from here on out was meant to be, because I was initiated, and whatever that initiation is to whatever you believe it to be, God, or whether it be matrixy, or whether it be whatever you believe in, just believe in faith, because that's what got me through it. And so I'm going to shine bright and give you hope to hold on to your faith as we all embark on this journey. And so that's just it. But I just thought it was interesting. Literally, I was like a fucking cat, like trying to crawl my way out of this fucking shit, just because I was so exacerbated. I was like, I know it's here, I know it's here, I know it's here, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, it works out. It all will always work out, but it definitely works out for me now. So that's it. That's me for Al at Altruistic Channel. I hope you're all being blessed, and I hope that you have some clean and wonderful auras around you. I know that the world has changed quite a bit, and that there can be a lot of dark, so let's shine bright so that we can show the cosmos that we are underway to the collective. Anyway, that's it. I don't know what I was going to end on that, but there you go. That's Al for Altruistic Channel, and as always, ask yourself, have you made a mistake today? Bye.